let me just clean this, and then I will show you the second approach. Okay. All right, guys. So the second approach is called a dollar per thousand approach, as you can see over here, and this has, of course, a specific specific purpose. The purpose is that hospitality industry companies in there, they rely on heavy investments. They rely on physical building, physical plant investment. Okay, they put the product. We have to put the products in. They have to put the products in that physical places because we don't have any product that we can sell online or ship online, or the consumers produce where at their houses, in their cars, or whatever. Okay. For example, in the industry tells us that around 65 to 70% of total investment is on the physical investment, such as buildings, such as land and everything, Therefore, we have to do something to find out what could be the potential ADR. Okay. Well, guys, a dollar per thousand approach here over here. Let me just show you over here. A dollar per thousand approach is not a complicated approach. It just serves only one purpose. If you are a brand new hotel, brand new development, okay, or if you have the expansion project, you would like to know how much that you might need to charge as the charge for the rooms. Therefore, the ADR calculation is based on this. So what I'm trying to tell you over here, only if you are developing a new hotel and you don't know how much to charge for ADR or for any room, or you have the expansion project and you're trying to figure out how much you will have to put as a price, put the price in for that hotel becomes critical. Therefore, a simple approach, a dollar for thousand approach, serves that purpose. It is not complicated. Because it doesn't factor in any other factors, for example, interest rates, consumer traffic, customer demand, so on and so forth. It does not factors those in. Okay, so there are two equations that we have to deal with. Okay, the main equation is right here, and we have another main equation which is right here. Okay, so guys, total project cost, which is the entire investment cost, over total number of rooms available over $1,000. I'm going to talk about this. $1,000 becomes the main equation. All right. So this $1,000, okay, is the project becomes the stable number that every $1,000 it will give us a value that how much we should charge. Okay. So it is always $1,000, never changes. Okay. Therefore, we will need to find ADR, or the price that we can charge for the rooms. All right, guys. So total project cost over total number of rooms available is equal to the project cost of each room. Okay, guys. I mean, let me just use a different color. This part right here. This part, it's a little squeaky, I'm sorry about the markers. This part right here is equal to project cost of each room. Okay, guys? Therefore, project cost of each room over $1,000 is another expression of this main equation. Okay, guys? Total project cost over total number of rooms available over 1,000, and this green portion right here, what I highlighted with green, this portion is the project cost of each room. Therefore, I can rewrite this equation as project cost of each room over $1,000. Okay, guys? Take a look at this hotel investment example, and hopefully everything will be clear. Okay? Let me just erase this again. Imagine that a new 100-room hotel project will cost $4 million. So what you need to do, okay, there's a $4 million hotel project and you would like to know how much you should charge for ADR. Using a dollar per thousand approach, what is the initial average ADR when the hotel starts operating in the market? Whenever you have the soft or the hard opening, the grand opening, you know, how much you have to charge for your guests. Using a dollar per thousand approach is going to help you determine that, and then you know, it is just the beginning stage of the ADRs, and then you can revise it, you can change it, but it will give you a great idea, a great clue about what might possibly be the ADR at the beginning of the beginning of the operation and the first day of the operation. Guys, all we have to do, take a look at this. We have 100-room hotel over here, number of rooms available. We have the project cost, okay, which is total project. Using the dollar per thousand approach, I can easily analyze the equation. The equation is the total project cost over total number of rooms available over $1,000, never changes, always $1,000. $4 million over 100 over $1,000 is going to give us $40 as an initial average ADR. But of course, this approach doesn't factor in many other factors. That doesn't consider many other factors. Therefore, this $40 is just for a very short term, very short period. It just shows you how much you should charge around. It could be $45, it could be $50. Okay, as I said over here, look, this approach doesn't consider the other factors. That becomes the biggest downside of this approach. $40 will still be acceptable, but you know, looking at the competition, local market, guest preferences, what the other hotels are charging becomes important. You can modify around your ADR around the $40. It could be 45, it could be 50. Okay, so that will be a great idea, and that will be the great approach after using a dollar per thousand approach. But this approach is just going to give you an idea. It's not going to give you okay, your ADR is $40 and you're going to charge $40 from now on. Okay. Another approach we have is the bottom-up approach. Guys, the bottom-up approach is a very detailed approach. Okay, the bottom-up approach. Let me just put it over here so you can see it better. Okay, the bottom-up approach, aka Hubbard formula. Okay, it uses revenue and expense components of the operation, meaning it takes the income statement, works it backwards, and then finds how much you should charge for each specific room, or in general, either or. We're going to do three different examples. I'm going to show you how much you should charge for each specific room based on your revenue expense balance that you take from the income statement. Therefore, it works the income statement backwards. In shorter version, Hubbard formula or the bottom-up approach considers the income statement, the components of the income statement, and it works the income statement from backwards to find the possible ADRs that might be charged, that might be put on every single room or in an entire operation in general. Take a look. Well, I mean, it doesn't make sense if I don't show you the example. Take a look at this example over here. The Harkins Hotel is the example. The Harkins Hotel is the issue right now. The Harkins Hotel, a 30-room hotel on daily basis. Let me remind you something. Sometimes in our equations, we use different time frames. For example, on daily basis, Harkins Hotel have 30 rooms. Okay, but what is being sold, or what you need to solve for, might be an annual case, might be an annual adjustment, might be monthly figures. Okay, please be careful. Therefore, please be careful about the different time frames, because you might need to adjust daily values to monthly or monthly values to annual values. Therefore, different time frames becomes important. Okay, let's keep reading. 30-room hotel is projected that occupancy will be 40% with a total revenue stream as room revenues $460,000, F&B revenues $58,700, catering revenues $24,000, banquet revenues $55,000, and other revenues $10,000. Okay, it is also estimated that 30% of the total revenues is the total expenses for Harkins. Okay. If the income tax is 40%, which is not realistic, but it's just for theoretical purposes, hypothetical numbers we are using, the question becomes, what is the projected after-tax average ADR for the next year, take a look at this, based on the net income. Assume that there are 365 days in a given year. So we might have to do the adjustment over here because we are given daily values only for number of rooms available, and then we will adjust that to the annual values. Guys, I know there are a lot of information over here. We need every single number over here. We will have to utilize it. But again, we're going to go step by step. Step number 1. What are we solving for? We are solving for after-tax average ADR, meaning we will have to incorporate tax issues. After-tax average ADR for the next year, annual basis. Do we have an equation for that? Yes, we do. Let me show you. After-tax average ADR, we are talking about this right here. After-tax average ADR is equal to after-tax net income over total projected number of rooms sold. This is the main equation we are going to utilize. Step number 3. How about the components of the equation? Do we have all the components of the equation, guys? Ask yourself. Do I have total projected number of rooms sold? Do we have that? Is it given in the question on annual basis? Not available, sold. No, we don't have this guy. Do we have after-tax net income? Look, we are finding after-tax average ADR, which is equal to after-tax net income over total project number of rooms sold. Do we have after-tax net income? No, we don't. Well, we are trying to find the question mark over here. So we have unknown number 1, unknown number 2, unknown number 3. Okay. If we find unknown number 2 and 3, we will be easily solve for the question mark, which is what we need to solve for, the final equation, right? And the final solution, okay? Therefore, guys, we're gonna go back up and we're gonna solve for this guy, and then we are gonna plug in the numbers for the main equation, which is this, and then we will be able to solve for after-tax and average income. So let's start with the total projected number of rooms sold, okay? Let's start with this guy right here. Let's get the number for this guy. Let me go back up and show you. Let's find the total number of rooms sold first, okay? Total number of rooms sold is equal to total number of rooms available per day multiplied by occupancy percentage multiplied by number of days in a given year. I have this guy, and this guy. Therefore, total number of rooms sold in a given year is equal to 30 multiplied by 40 multiplied by 365, because 365 is the number of days given in a year. 4,380 rooms that we project to sell for the next year. Okay, so check mark. We're gonna put the check mark for the main equation. Let me just go down and show you again. So we're gonna put a check mark over here, because we just got the one component of the main equation. This is our main equation, guys, okay? So how am I going to solve for after-tax net income then? I have to find after-tax net income because I need 2 unknowns right now, okay? You know, my question mark is over here. I need unknown number 1, unknown number 2. I got this guy. If I get this guy, I will do the division and find the final solution. Therefore, before I get to the main equation, which is this, I have to go back up and solve for the after-tax net income, guys, okay? In order for me to solve for after-tax net income, I am going to follow this equation right here. This equation is the equation for after-tax net income, which is total revenue minus total expenses multiplied by 1 minus tax rate. Do I have the total revenue? Yes, I do. I have a whole bunch of different departments, and I have specific revenue levels for that. All I have to do for the total revenue, I will add those up. Do I know the total expenses? Yes, I do. If you go back up, 30% of the total revenues are total expenses. That's how I have this. 1 is just number 1. Now 1 is the 100%, which is 1. Do I have the tax rate? Yes, it's given as 40%. So look, I do have all the components. All I have to do is plug in numbers and run the equation for the after-tax net income, guys. All right. So after-tax net income will look like all the revenues which are added together, okay, minus right here total expenses are equal to the 30% of total revenues, same total revenues added up together, multiplied by 0.30. 0.30 is we are taking out 30% of all these total expenses right here, guys, okay, which will give us the total expenses. Multiply by 1 minus 0.4, 1 minus 0.4, 0.4, 40% is equal to 0.40 or 0.4, the same thing, okay guys? So I can finalize my net income equation just like this. And I can simplify the equation. When I add all the total individual revenues from all departments, it is 607,700, okay? And 30% of 607,700, same revenue levels for individual departments, multiplied by 0.3. The 30% of room revenue is equal to 182,310. 1 minus 0.4, 1 minus 0.4 is equal to 0.6, right here, okay? Do the math in parentheses first, and then multiply by 0.6. When I do the math, guys, 255, 234 becomes the after-tax net income right here, okay? So look, when I go down, let me just clean this real quick. When I get to my main equation, which is the last step in my solution, okay? Look what I have. Question mark is the after-tax average ADR. I do have after-tax net income. I do have total project number of rooms sold. When I'm gonna do the division, plug in the numbers, this guy and number of rooms sold. I'm gonna plug in the numbers over here, do the division, whatever the outcome is, it will be my final solution. Okay? So take a look at this, guys. When I do the division, which is 255, 255, 234 over 4,380, $58.27 becomes the projected after-tax average ADR for the entire rooms overall. Look, there is no breakdown for the hotel. Okay, I mean for different types of rooms yet. We're gonna get into this. So guys, after this, what we did, we just worked the income statement from backwards. Okay, backwards. We started with the net income or net loss, which in this case net income all the time. Net income. Then we take a look at the taxes. Then we incorporate expenses and revenues, collect them or combine them all. We find the projected after-tax average ADR for Harkins. As you know, income statement is revenues minus expenses. Take the tax out. Either you have net income or net loss, right? So we just worked this sequence backwards to find $58.27. So for Harkins, overall, regardless of the room type, they can charge on average, they can charge $58.27 for the ADR, okay? What do you think about this? In real life, there are different types of rooms. I'm going to talk about this in a second, but let me just go over this part, and then I will talk about a couple of stuff that why you keep seeing single and double rooms over here. I'll talk about it. Okay, $58.27. This is for the overall operation, regardless of the room type. But we have suite rooms, we have club rooms, we have special rooms, we have standard rooms with 2 queen size bed, we have standard rooms with king size bed, and you know the price that we charge for each room are different than each other. Am I right? Yes. What am I going to do then? How am I going to decompose this? How am I going to take it? How am I going to take it from here to find the individual ADRs for different types of rooms? Okay. We can do this. We are going to lay out different equations, and we are still under Hubbard formula. We are still going to do the same thing, but we are going to follow different equations. Later in this section of the chapter, we are going to deal with computing after-tax ADRs on average for different types of rooms we have. So guys, why singles and doubles then over here? Let me tell you this. Well, I put that on purpose because two reasons. First, the first reason, which is not that important, is to differentiate singles and doubles better, okay? Because standard with two queen size, standard with king size bed, square footage wise, they're almost the same square footage with same amenities, okay? Almost, for some hotels, for most of the hotels. This is the US hospitality operations. However, we have a lot of multinational corporations that have overseas operations in Europe, in South Asia, in East Asia, Mid Asia, and in South American countries, and the Middle East. Okay, therefore, we will, as a decision maker, running a multinational company, being a part of a multinational company, we have to consider different types of reporting. So only US doesn't have a single and double room decomposition or differentiation when we talk about the rooms. If you go to Europe or if you go to any other part of the world, you will be, as a decision maker or as a tourist by yourself in vacation, you will be experiencing single and double rooms. Okay, guys? The main reason I put that, I want you to be familiar with different types of hospitality operations in the world, so you will be equipped with that information, and when you become a decision maker, when you see a different report, you won't be confused, and you will be able to understand differences easily. It will help you. Come up with a great judgment. Okay, guys. So, after having said that, the important question becomes: how am I going to decompose the broad and overall after-tax average ADR based on different types of rooms? Let's carry the Harkins hotel example to the next level so that we can analyze individual ADRs for different types of rooms. Take a look at, guys. By the way, we are continuing the example. We are extending the example of Harkins hotel. We might need to use the previous information for the new examples. Please keep that in mind. Assume that there are only single and double rooms for Harkins with a double occupancy of 40%. Double occupancy, 40%. Double occupancy means that there are only double rooms occupied in the entire hotel, okay? And it is 40%. The price of the double rooms is $10 more than what is charged for single rooms. So we have a price for double rooms right here, okay? We don't know that yet. And we have a price for the single rooms right here. Double rooms with D, single rooms with S. If we are charging single rooms X amount of dollars, double rooms will be X plus 10, okay? Based on the information given, what are the ADRs for both single and double rooms for Harkins? So we are looking for ADR for this guy, ADR for this guy. How am I going to do this, guys? Great question. It has a special equation. I will show you right now. Let's jump to the solution. It does have a special equation to find out individual after-tax average ADRs. Okay, guys? Oh, sorry. Let me just keep this over here. So, guys, please do not get scared about this formula, okay? It's very easy. Trust me, very easy. I'm going to put in this part in brackets right here. Okay? In order for us to solve for ADRs for both single and doubles separately, individually, we have to combine them into one main equation. And the equation is projected after-tax average ADR multiplied by projected after-tax average ADR multiplied by total number of rooms sold, which is equal to total number of singles sold multiplied by X plus total number of doubles sold multiplied by X plus Y. So this X right here is exactly the same X with this guy right here. So what are they? Guys, X represents the single room price, okay? Y represents the price difference between doubles and singles. X plus Y represents price of doubles, okay? So X over here, singles price, X plus Y represents the price of doubles, Y represents the price difference between doubles and singles. So let's go back to over here. Well, X is the price for singles, okay? X plus Y is the price of doubles, and I know Y, this guy, is the price difference, take a look, price difference between doubles and singles. Therefore, singles ADR becomes the X in this equation, and the equation for, the ADR for doubles becomes X plus 10 for this equation. Okay, guys? Cool? All right. One more thing I would like to tell you. This equation is only useful for, let me just tell you this when I'm done with this. Hang on, this, because this is very important. This equation, which is this guy right here, guys, okay, is only good for if and when the price difference between doubles and singles is based on a dollar value. In this case, the price difference is 10 bucks, correct? Again, this equation is only good for, only good for, if the ADR for singles and doubles is based on a dollar value difference. Okay, guys? In this case, I can use this equation because I know that my Y, which is this guy, which is the price difference between doubles and singles, is 10 bucks. Okay? X plus 10. So I'm going to utilize this guy right now. Okay? So I know what I'm solving for. I know the equation. Step number 3, let's analyze the component of the equation. Do I know projected after-tax average ADR? Yes, I know. Why? Why? Because in the first Harkins example, I got this as $58.27 because, remember that I'm extending the Harkins example, so I can use the previous information and bring it over here because this is the extension of that previous example. Okay? Do I know total number of rooms sold? I don't. Can I find it? Yes, I can. So I don't know this, but I can find it, right? Because I know that there's an occupancy percentage in the previous example. The occupancy percentage was, in the previous example, I'm trying to find it. %40, okay? Okay. Do I know total number of singles sold? Total number of single rooms sold? No, I don't. X, I don't know what X is. X is the price of single. That's what I'm trying to solve for. Total number of doubles sold? Do I know that? No. Do I know X plus Y? No. I only know it's X plus 10. So look at the unknowns I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? All I have to do, I'm going to go back, solve for all these unknowns before I get to the final solution, guys. Okay? Let me go back up to the top part of my solution, okay, and then let's solve for the total number of rooms sold, total number of doubles sold, and total number of singles sold. Guys, I know that I have 30 rooms, right? And I know that 40% is the general occupancy. Therefore, I am selling 12 rooms, okay? So number of rooms sold right here, I just get that part. Look, number of rooms sold is 12 right now. I know what this is, $58.28, and total number of rooms sold is 12. I just sold it right now. But I don't know this guy. I don't know this guy. How am I going to decompose total number of singles sold and total number of doubles sold? Take a look at this, guys. Double occupancy is going to help me determine number of rooms sold for singles and number of rooms sold for doubles. Double number of rooms sold is equal to double occupancy percentage multiplied by total rooms available multiplied by general occupancy. Okay? So you can solve this with two parts. Okay? You know that total number of rooms sold is 12. Okay? If you multiply 12 by 40, okay, you will have roughly 4.8, I rounded up, 5 double rooms over here. Or you can follow this formula, you can create the equation 30 multiplied by 40, which is general occupancy, multiplied by double occupancy, 40, coincidence, they are the same percentages. It will also be equal to 5, well, 4.8, okay? So I can decompose the double the number of rooms sold for doubles by running either this equation or this equation. First, I can find the total number of rooms sold. Then I can multiply this total number of rooms sold with double occupancy to find 5. Or I can just do the entire thing in one equation, which is this guy, okay, to find 5 double rooms. Well, if I know that I'm selling 12 rooms, and if I also know that I'm selling 5 double rooms, the difference between 12 and 5, which is 7, okay, must be the number of singles sold, right? Or you can solve this by, the same, sorry, okay, must be the total number of singles sold, okay? 30 multiplied by 0.4, which is equal to 12, which is the total number of rooms sold, minus double sold, which will be equal to 7 over here. Therefore, I know that I'm selling 5 rooms, 5 double rooms, and 7 single rooms. Therefore, my total number of rooms sold is 12, okay? This is how I decompose the total number of rooms sold to find total number of singles sold and total number of doubles sold, guys, okay? Keep that in mind. I'm just going to erase this. You can rewind the video to understand better. Okay, you can always email me about this part because I know these are little complicated equations to deal with. Okay, I'm going to put this part right here. So let me go back to my main equation. Now I know this guy, now I know this guy, now I know this guy, now I know this guy. And I know y. The only unknown I have, the x's, right guys? Right. This x is exactly the same as with this x. Well, therefore, if I find the x, which is single room price, which is this guy right here, if I find the x, I will be able to find the price of single. If I find x, which is the price of single rooms, I will be able to find that number. And after that, if I add $10 to that number, because look at the x over here, the same x's, I will be able to find both ADRs for both single and double rooms. Okay, guys, that's what I'm gonna do right now. So take a look at my equation. I'm gonna put the equation over here. Okay, I'm gonna put the equation over here. I'm gonna erase this. I'm gonna plug in the numbers right now, and then I'm going to show you how to solve this. Okay. Projected after-tax average ADR 58.27. Please follow me when I'm going to underline the component of an equation and the corresponding number. Multiply by total number of rooms sold, 12 in parentheses. Total number of singles sold, 7 multiplied by x, plus total number of doubles sold, 5. Multiply by x plus y is equal to x plus 10. Y, take a look, it represents the price of doubles. Represents the price difference between doubles and singles. Okay, guys? So when I do this part, it is equal to 699.24. So 7x plus 5x plus 50. Okay? 7x plus 5x plus 50. I can reduce it. 699.24 is equal to 12x plus 50. I can transfer the 50 right here. Sign changes. 699.24 minus 50 is equal to 12x, okay? All I have to do after this point, guys, let me clear this. All I have to do after this point, I will have 649.24 is equal to 12x. I took out 50 over here. All I have to do, I will have to leave the x alone. Let me show you how to do it, okay? I will have to leave the x alone, which means I will have to divide two sides by 12 to find the x, then to find the doubles, to find the x plus y. 6.24 is equal to 12x. I have to divide both sides by 12 and this goes away. It cancels each other. So leave the x alone. Therefore, x is equal to 649.24 over 12. When I do the math, this will be equal to $54.10. This is the x over here. 54.10 is the x. Therefore, 54.10 plus 10 becomes 64.10, which are the ADR for singles. You can see right here, guys, ADR for doubles, ADR for singles, because there's only a $10 difference between singles and doubles. So this is how I decompose the ADRs between singles and doubles, okay? And then, based on that, I just follow the formula, I plug in numbers. If I don't have any components of the formula, I go back and then solve that before I get to the main point, as we always do. And then I solve for the ADRs for both singles and doubles, okay? We are not done yet about this because there is more fun coming up. Just do this first. Take a look at what I put over here, guys. What if? A price difference between singles and doubles is not based on a dollar value. Now it is based on a percentage this time. What if? What if? Okay? Well, if you go back up to previous example, we have x and x plus y. There is no percentage sign in the formula. So the conclusion is, if you have in any question a price difference which is set to a percentage, which is based on a percentage, okay, you will have to change the formula and you will have to utilize this form. Excuse me, I'm so sorry, guys. Excuse me. You will have to utilize this formula. Some of the parts are similar, but since we are dealing with the percentage right now, it differs a little bit. So, after-tax average ADR for each single and double rooms is equal to after-tax average ADR multiplied by total number of rooms sold, which is equal to total number of doubles sold, multiplied by x, multiplied by 1 plus percentage markup, I will talk about this, plus total number of singles sold, multiplied by x. Again, please don't get overwhelmed with this lengthy formula. It is really easy when you do enough practice. Please do the quiz questions for enough practice, and when you really put that sequential analysis in each equation, okay? So, 1 plus percentage markup. Guys, if the price difference between singles and doubles based on a percentage, you will have to put that percentage difference right here, and the official name of that difference is called percentage markup or premium, okay? Either percentage markup or premium, I can use that terms interchangeably, so please be aware of different terminology, okay? So this becomes my equation, okay? And you know what the notations are in this equation. They don't change. X right here, the same x with this guy. There are two x's. Those x's right here represent the price for the single rooms, okay, guys? Now, I'm going to show you an example, and hopefully everything will be much more clear. Again, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to send me an email. Okay, guys, I'm not going to utilize the Harkins example this time because it's a little different. So I'm going to utilize the Cody example. Cody, let me write it over here. Cody example. And then we're going to start everything from scratch. The management of the Cody Boutique Hotel, which has a 20-room on daily basis, has projected that the occupancy will be 50% with a total revenue stream as room revenues of $300,000, catering revenues of $200,000. The management also estimated that $30,000 of total expenses is projected for the next period. The income tax bracket is 40%. And assume that there are only single and double rooms for Cody with a double occupancy of 80%, and the double rooms are sold at a percentage markup of 25% over singles. So, doubles, singles, okay? We have x over here. This is x multiplied by 1.25. 1.25, 100% plus 25%, because the ADR for double rooms are 25% more of the singles, therefore it is 125% of the single ADRs. Okay, that's why I put 1.25. Right, guys? Based on the information given, what are the individual ADRs for both single and double rooms for Cody? Assume that there are 365 days in a year. Guys, this example is the longest example, because what we have to do, we don't have after-tax average ADR. We have to find it first. We have to find number of double rooms sold first, and then we have to find total number of singles sold and everything. So we have to find everything in the formula. Well, I know it's very lengthy, but trust me, it's a great practice for you guys. Okay, so let me go back to my solution. And show you that show my main equation to you guys. Again, percentage. In order for me to find the individual ADRs based on a percentage, guys, okay, I have to use this equation in brackets, okay? So, question mark is equal to after-tax average ADR multiplied by total number of rooms sold is equal to total number of doubles sold multiplied by X plus multiplied by 1 plus percentage markup plus total number of singles sold multiplied by X. Do I know after-tax average ADR? I don't. Enough ingredients are given for me to find out this guy. Also this guy, I don't know this guy. I don't know total number of doubles sold either. I don't know what X is. One is just one. Only thing I know is the percentage markup, which is 25% difference. Okay? Plus total number of singles sold. I don't know this. The same X with the same X. Okay? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 unknowns. 7th unknown is the final solution anyways. Okay, guys? So I have 7 unknowns over here. I only know this guy, 25%. What am I going to do? I'm going to go back, I'm going to find this guy, and then I'm going to find this guy, then this guy. Let's leave the X for now. Then this guy, and then the X, and then the final solution. So this example, Cody example, is the longest question that you have to find almost every single component of the equation, and then come to the final point. Okay, guys? So how am I going to solve this? Let's just find the, hang on. Let's just find the first step. Let's just find the after-tax ADR, okay? In order for us to find after-tax average ADR, okay, we have to find its formula, after-tax net income over total project number of rooms sold. I don't know any of these either. I have to find them first, then find after-tax average ADR, okay? So total project number of rooms sold is the easy one because, is the easy one because take a look at if I take number of rooms available per day, multiply by occupancy percentage, and then multiply by days in a year, which is 20 multiplied by 50 multiplied by 365, I will have 3,650 rooms sold, okay? And then if I do the total revenue minus total expenses multiplied by 1 minus tax rate, I will be able to find out, give me 1 second please. I just got this guy, 3,650. I will be able to find out after-tax net income when I do total revenues minus total expenses, and that formula right here, this formula right here. This formula right here, okay? I know what my total revenues are. I know what my total expenses are. I know the tax rate, so I can run this, and I can find the after-tax average ADR, okay, and then I will take it from there after, okay? So $300,000 plus $200,000. I have 2 departments only. Let's assume that. This is my total revenues minus total expenses multiplied by 1 minus tax rate is going to give me 28200 after tax net income. So I got this guy and this guy. Therefore, $282,000 over 3,650 is going to give me the $77 and $26 as the after tax average ADR, because remember our main formula, guys, okay? I have a lot of unknowns that I have to find out. So this was one of them, so I got 2 knowns right now. Total number of rooms sold is another unknown. Can I find it, guys? Yes, I can, because I know that there are 20 rooms available, right? Second one, total number of rooms. Okay, second step. I have 20 rooms available. Let's go back up. Go back up to question, hang on. %50 room general occupancy, okay? Therefore, I'm selling 10 rooms. So total number of rooms sold is 10. I just got that right now. And if you take a look at our main equation, I got this guy, I got this guy, okay, and I know this guy. Total number of doubles sold. If you remember, 80%, of the entire number of rooms sold, okay, is total number of doubles sold. Therefore, 10 multiplied by 0.8 is going to give me 0.80, which is 80% of 10, which is total number of rooms sold. It's going to give me 8 rooms over here, 8 double rooms, and if I'm selling 8 double rooms out of 10 rooms total, okay, 2 rooms must be single rooms right here, okay, so I got this guy and this guy now, so I got everything right now, but the x's again, okay, and x, if you remember, is the number of, the price for the singles, so if I'm able to find x, I will be able to find out the question, and I'm going to be done with the question, okay. Let's just do this. This was the third step. We just analyze the components of the equation. Okay, guys? Let's just do this. Let's just plug in the numbers right now. And then, once we plug in the numbers, okay? Once we plug in the numbers, we're going to solve the question. So, after tax average ADR, $77.26. Total multiplied by total number of rooms sold is 10, which is equal to total number of doubles sold, 8, multiplied by x. We don't know x yet. 1 plus percentage markup, 1 plus 0.25 is equal to 1.25. Total number of singles sold, 2 multiplied by x. This is my equation. If I can find those x's, I'll be able to find out the individual ADRs. So I can simplify what I have just did right now. 772.60. Excuse me, let me just go down. I'm skipping a line. Okay. No? Okay. So yeah. So I can simplify this, okay? 772.6 becomes this part right here. So 8 multiplied by x multiplied by 1.25 is 10x. 2 multiplied by x, 2x plus, this is 12x over here. And then this is the multiplication. All I have to do, leave the x alone, divide by both sides by 12, okay? And do the division, do the division, I will be able to find what x is. So 772.6 is equal to 12x. You can see the simplification over here. When I do the math, guys, when I leave the x alone, just like I did over here, $64.38 becomes the singles for ADRs. All I have to do, I have to increase this by 25%. I can simply multiply that number by 1.25 and it will be equal to $80.48. Okay? So guys, this is how we find the individual ADRs based on dollar value differences and based on percentage differences, okay? And it has specific equations, and this Cody example was the great example because we didn't have any portion of any component of the equation. We worked everything out, and then we get to the final solution over here, okay? And next, we're gonna talk about the room rate discounting.